Peace, peace, peace. This your brother Monroe Jr. I'm going to be offering my brief commentary right after this quick clip. Peace.
Every day he walked into work, Marcus Boyd prayed he'd survive his shift unscathed.
I felt like I was at war, risking my life every day.
Derek Brooks, a former Marine, worked in the same place. Both were supervisors on different shifts at the General Motors transmission plant in Toledo, Ohio. Brooks considers himself tough from his military training, but he struggled to handle what was happening at work.
How rough and tough can you be when you got 11 or 12 people who want to put a noose around your neck and hang you till you're dead?
There's a reason he brings up nooses. It's not just a figure of speech.
This is the picture of the noose that I found the night that I was at work on my shift.
According to a lawsuit now pending against GM, this is one of at least 5 nooses discovered at their workplace in separate incidents. The suit also claims there were signs that blacks were not welcome there. Whites only scrawled on a bathroom wall, along with swastikas on bathroom stalls and niggers not allowed scratched or written on bathroom walls.
This was saying, you don't belong here. This was saying, if you stay here, this is what could possibly happen to you.
In this struggling town, Brooks and Boyd didn't want to leave their 6-figure jobs. Brooks has 8 children. Boyd takes care of his mother, who was an amputee. Now, they and 7 others have sued GM for allowing an underlying atmosphere of violent racial hate and bullying. When did you notice overt racism?
Well, when an employee that was under me, he told me that back in the day, a person like me would have been buried with a shovel.
He said what to you?
That was a death threat, and I was told to push that to the side.
Boyd says he reported the incident.
He admitted to it, and I was pulled to the side and said, if you want to build relationships here, you just let things go, he'll be all right.
But he says the threats got worse. Were you afraid for your life?
Definitely. That's why I left.
When the noose appeared in March of 2017, Derek Brooks says he reported it to upper management. He was sure he was the intended target, but says he was told to investigate by questioning his employees.
It felt like a slap in the face. It did, but I had to be professional.
Brooks and other black employees also noticed being called Dan.
I thought they just mispronounced my name for Derek. Then later I find out that Dan was an acronym for dumbass nigga.
General Motors sent us a statement insisting discrimination and harassment are not acceptable and in stark contrast to how they expect people to show up at work. We treat any reported incident with sensitivity and urgency and are committed to providing an environment that is safe, open, and inclusive. And that every day, everyone at General Motors is expected to uphold the values that are an integral part of its culture. But according to more than half dozen current and former black employees, the problem is the culture. They say inside this plant, racism and harassment are the norm, not the exception.
It is a culture.
It's a culture.
Yeah.
You have to, it's from the top down and the bottom up.
One employee filed a police report. Others filed complaints with the Ohio Civil Rights Commission prior to filing suit.
The ultimate decision that was made is that GM did allow a racially hostile environment.
They allege they investigated quickly and have done remedial things to take care of the problem.
The commission disagrees with that position. GM did not do very much at all, or what they did do was not effective.
GM says that they held mandatory meetings and even closed the plant for a day for training and to address the issue with every shift. The Civil Rights Commission report noted a former union president's testimony that during one of those meetings, a white supervisor said too big of a deal was being made of the nooses. After all, there was never a black person who was lynched that didn't deserve it. The lawsuit alleges that supervisor was never disciplined.
General Motors is supposed to stand for something, right? That's the great American company. But what are you doing about this?
A GM representative that we spoke to says that they have not identified those who put up the nooses, and therefore no one has been fired for those incidents. They said, however, that some people have been dismissed in that Toledo plant during what it's calling its extensive anti-discrimination and anti-harassment work, and that work continues today. But Dawn, guess what else continues? the racist threats. Just today, we received a picture from inside of the plant sent to an attorney that mentions hanging people. There have been other threats against those who have spoken out, black workers there, threats directed directly at them, and they are now in fear and would not go on camera because they were in fear for speaking out again in case more threats came their way as they're going through this process, Don.
You told us, Sarah, what GM said. What about the union?
So we did speak to a UAW representative, and he said, look, he'd been there for 34 years. There could be some, what he said, bad actors that work there, but he didn't believe that there was widespread intentional racism. Now, he said something very interesting. He says, do I believe that people are a little too sensitive in this day and age? Yes, but you can't say the same things you used to say 20 years ago that you can say now. That is the problem that these workers are talking about, being called sensitive when they're facing these really extreme racial epithets, really extreme behavior, and they're being told to suck it up and get along.
Peace, peace, peace. This your brother Monroe Jr. So we just saw the video of what black employees are experiencing up at that General Motors, plant in Toledo, Ohio, as this is occurring across the country, and white people, or some of the white supremacists, are becoming more emboldened. They recognize the time. They recognize the declining of their power. And you see, you have a lot of whites that act a certain way around black people, right? They'll put on the front like they're your friend. But see, I like my white supremacy, like so many other black people, out front, right in front of me, so I can see. You dig? Don't fake with me. Keep it 100. Right? And that's what these white people at this plant were doing. They were letting these black men know, especially the ones in positions of authority, say, bro, we don't care how much power you think you got. You still a N-word to us. Huh? That's because, brothers and sisters, everything in nature has a natural enemy. You have different type of snakes. You have different type of fish. You have different type of animals that are the same animal, but with different natures. The rattlesnake is not like the gardener snake. The goldfish is not like the piranha. Can't we see from our 400-year-old sojourn with these people, sojourn, they don't have our best interest? There might be, now I'm not saying that there might not be a few good white people, but we spend too much time trying to discover them. Instead of trying to hurry up, pull our resources while the dollar still has some value. I'm gonna play the clip of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in the economic blueprint. He's asking us for 35 cents a week. We're trying to get millions of people on board. We already have over $1 million. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan wants to purchase a lot of land for us so that we can grow our own food. Create opportunity for our young people. Go back to the land that made America wealthy and rich, and powerful. We can do that again, but we must move in a haste manner. The Nation of Islam, we have land. We need, but see, we not just thinking for the small nation of Islam. We're thinking for the 30 or 40 million black and brown original people. We not selfish with our thinking or our desires for the liberation of our people. So you can go to that website. It's www.economicblueprint.org, brothers and sisters. These people are ready to go to war with us. These people, you have so many militia groups ready to topple the government. Right? They're sick and tired of their own government. And they're ready for a revolution. Well, hell, there's still that notion or that white supremacist element among a portion of them that want to subjugate our people and want to put us in our place. They don't want to see us eye to eye as equals. Why would you want to be around them? Why would I want to be around such a people like that? So once they topple the federal government or whoever they're going to war with, because they're armed to the teeth. So once they topple them, who do you think they're coming under? They're coming to subjugate. Not only will the military be used to mow us down, as the minister said, they were training for door-to-door combat. Well, hell, after they do that, and the militias go to war with the military, and there's blood up to the horse's bridle, as the scripture says, and the collapse of the economy happens, all of this is going to be manifesting. And if you think that they don't have a desire to put us back in slavery again, right? To get some free labor again, then you out of your mind. We have to make our exodus, brothers and sisters. We have to have land and build a nation of our own and protect what we build. Our young soldiers, they are our defenders. They are, as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, the most fearless generation, or we are the most fearless generation that has ever been produced. He said we're not the wisest, but we're the most fearless and courageous. Well, hell, we have to train them fast, make them bold fighters, willing at any time to give our lives for righteousness' sake. We as black and brown people have to understand we are at war. These people are tactical, they're stealthy, they're sneaky. But we have to understand we have real enemies. This is not playtime. A lot of us, man, we wrapped up in the frivolous folly things, and we don't think that a serious situation can come knocking at our door, but it absolutely can. We're living in that day and age, brothers and sisters, where we should want to be separated and have a land and territory of our own. Right? And not only do we want to separate from those whites that have that white supremacist mindset, we want to separate from those who have that Oreo cookie coonish mindset, right? We don't want to be amongst you either. You gotta get wasted as well, right? You can't be among us with that self-hatred. No. But my heart goes out to these brothers, man, and what they experience. It's a shame with us as black people have to go through just trying to make a living in this world, but yet we keep pushing, we keep enduring. But while we pushing and we enduring, we have to have a backup plan. We have to have a plan A, B, C, D. We have to want to be our own independent people. That's why they look at us like little boys, man. We go to their jobs. They providing for a lot of our families, man. So what if you make 6 figures working for your enemy? That's his 6 figures that he's granted to you that he can cut off anytime. Are we really men? No, we're not. If we're not out here producing independently of our enemies. Look at them. Hell, they cut their own people off. Look at what's transpiring with the government right now. They cut their own off right now. The federal employees not getting paid. A lot of Trump supporters are livid with him in his adamant approach to not easing up on his desires for the border wall. What will transpire? What will play out in this country? It's gonna be pure mayhem. America is in trouble, brothers and sisters. This is just a little, nothing has even unfolded yet. But look how the people are starting to become more conscious of the trouble that our country is in. There is no reason that we should be dumbfounded today in the age of social media unless we desire to. It's so much knowledge and information out here about what's transpiring. Hell, there are reports I'm reading, I might do a report on it, where in March, from what I'm hearing, that there's a possibility that welfare, that the food stamps won't be given out. And if that manifests, you can please believe that civil unrest, people will be out in the streets protesting, mad at their government, right? We have millions of people on welfare, black, brown, white, all colors, all ethnicities, right? So I would say to make sure, you have some food stored up, possibly. A survival kit, maybe like an alternative energy source. I know they have like alcohol stoves online on eBay. You can get the all different type of alternative energy sources. You can get generators. It's just a lot of different things that we can utilize in an event of a civil unrest and martial law is implemented and curfew, and because you gotta think, if millions of people are without food and you think crime is high now, we're gonna start to see looting manifest, because a lot of stores are supported by food stamps. That's a heavy hit if food stamps go out. But in reality, brothers and sisters, we have to make a hasty shift from what we're doing right now. All the skill, gifts, talents that our people have can be utilized to build our own nation up, right? So I understand everything is real, right? People have to survive, you have to live, We have to do what we have to do, but we have to have a still away plan, and that plan has already been given to us through the economic blueprint. It's very affordable. 35 cents a week, brothers and sisters. 35 cents a week. We need millions of people on board. Don't say it can't be done. It can be done. We can be free overnight if 10 or 20, 30, 40 million of us come together and get on this economic blueprint. We playing. We say we want to be free, but then our Creator blesses us with a man that puts the economic blueprint right in front of our face, and we don't want to move on it. Right? The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has a track record of transparency. Like I said, I'm going to play the video. Once again, my heart goes out to these brothers and what they have had to endure. Looking at nooses at work. Nobody should have to go through that, man. You know, but that's just them showing who they are. You know, that they ain't playing with black people at that plant. They hanging up nooses. They letting you know what time it is. These people ready for war with us, man. And we gotta get on that same sentiment. So, may our Creator be with these brothers and what they experienced up in Toledo, Ohio. May our Creator, may the God be with each and every one of y'all. And let's stay prayed up. Let's stay exercising. Let's stay training. You know, being in some type of martial art. Staying physically and mentally fit, brothers and sisters. Staying righteous. That's another thing. We gotta be right, man. We gotta be morally right in our dealings with each other. And we have to be on alert. And I would just say to join some type of organization that's working for the liberation of our people. It doesn't matter what we call ourselves. At the end of the day, what matters is that we're helping ourselves, we're helping our communities and our people, and we're supporting black and brown businesses, brothers and sisters. We have to circulate our dollars like never before. And really, you know, as the most honored Elijah Muhammad said, unity is the key, brothers and sisters. This your brother Monroe Jr. I'm signing off. Peace. Peace. This your brother Monroe Jr. So as you can see, I'm on the website of the economic blueprint, and the goal is to end poverty and want. And if everyone can just give 35 cents a week as an investment in their future, it will be painless, said the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. If we get 16 million people to donate 5 cents a day in 1 year, that's $291 million that can be utilized to purchase land for our people so that we can continue this agricultural revolution of feeding, clothing, and housing ourselves, brothers and sisters. And that's only $18.20 a day, 5 cents a day, 35 cents a week. That's painless. This is what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is trying to get us to do. We have resources down here about financial empowerment, black spending studies. So we have to come together and galvanize. Minister Farrakhan is a man that we can trust. He's a man that has a track record of transparency. In fact, I'm going to go to the financial audit of the Million Man March. You can actually go online and view the records for that as well. We have to continue to pull our resources. Also, Jay Morrison has the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, where he's seeking to purchase real estate as well for our people. If you would like to support my channel, you most certainly can. That would be a blessing, as I'm striving to continue to put out raw and uncut commentary And my Patreon is www.patreon.com/Monroe Jr. And I'll also put that on the screen. We do a lot of workout in the community among the people. You know, just about every week I'm always giving to the homeless. I don't record much of what we do anymore, but we always out giving to the people. So, support your little brother. I'm signing off. Peace.